Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm going to do a reading for us all collectively and just speak on the current energetics that I've been picking up on. Definitely right in alignment with the astrology, which I'm not even going to go into, but I'm going to just describe to you my experience as well as what I've been receiving and witnessing on a collective level. There's been a lot of death and rebirth energy. Many of us were in that part of the spiral of time and space where we are coming back around. Pluto now moved back into Capricorn, coming back around to very important events and versions of ourselves that we are given a choice to change, to let go, to have that death and then rebirth with, whether this is in actual physicality or whether these are versions and parts of yourself that no longer serve, and we know it, and including the guilt and shame that may arise with re-experiencing or remembering these versions of ourselves that have played out in the past. And we're talking about all the way back to 2008 or maybe even prior to that. Revisiting, letting go, the dying off, the dark night of the soul, and the rebirth. It's all happening really fast. So let's tap into the current energy. And one of the reasons it's happening very fast is the energetics, especially the solar activity is kind of pushing, as well as Uranus, is pushing things along pretty quickly. I have been witnessing the physical death as well as the death, meaning the end of cycles, the end of relationships, the end of, it's the end and the beginning all in one is what I keep hearing. And it's been coming on pretty rapidly. What is the message for us all? Okay, Sugar Glider, the first one, the Empress. This is another energy that I've been picking up on. Sugar Glider is to have faith and to change our perspective when we're in the renewal energy, the rebirth energy, or even to assist us into getting there, is to look to the future as an adventure. We're shedding old skin. We're letting the past be in the past and learning from that. Hummingbird, homecoming, and woodpecker. Oh my. So overall, this message is speaking of releasing ourselves from the self-imposed prison that we were once in. These are versions of ourselves that we were acting out in unconscious patterns of trauma and pain and fear, programming and conditioning. And it created this self-imposed prison. When we finally are able to kind of strip back and pull back the layers of what had been holding us in this prison cell, which is subconscious, and its beliefs and its emotions tied to those beliefs about ourselves, about others, about the journey, we can form new perspectives. because we're finally being able to see clearly. Look, we have judgment below that, the whale rising up, awakening, mercy, forgiveness, forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others. We have all been ushered through on the spiral of time and space, a very dark period in our lives. And every single one of us, nobody is excluded in this, has witnessed and experienced and projected the darkest parts of ourselves, whether it be out of fear, anger, whatever inner child needs that were not met, whatever traumatized parts inside that were not healed, were acting out. That's part of the plan I'm hearing, the play. We've all done it. So for any of you, any of us, because I myself, this has come up yet again, are still holding on to judgment of self or others, holding on to feeling guilty and shameful for ways we had acted in the past, decisions we've made in the past. This is the time to let that go. You may be having flashbacks or actual reenactments of your past come back into your awareness now. And this is truly a sign and a symbol to, we always have a choice. Are you going to continue to hold on to this density, this darkness, this pain, this suffering, this self-imposed prison? Or are you going to finally put it down, let it go, give it to God? It's a choice. It's always a choice. The sugar glider says, have faith, take a leap of faith, and really start to enjoy every moment of life. It is very precious. It is a very short period of time that we get to spend in these bodies in this lifetime. We have the cow, the empress. This is divine feminine energy on the rise, energy, not gender, within. And this is our ability to actually create a new life for ourselves based off of our empathy, our compassion for self and others. Unity, wanting to co-create, cohabitate, collaborate with each other instead of the distorted way, competition, comparison. We all have to go through that part of the spiral to finally come to a point of choice. How do I really want to see myself and others in this lifetime? As separate, as against each other, as other people are better than me, so I've got to do this to be better, or we're all in this together. And we all work way more harmoniously and better together than we do against each other, or comparing ourselves to one another, or competing against one another. Divine feminine energy is also the energy that sits back and waits for the signs, the signals, the intuitive senses to then give the go-ahead to the divine masculine. So we have left and right hemisphere of the brain, energy within, to actually take an action or say something or do something. But right now it is important to slow down enough to connect to that aspect of self where we are connected to all. We are connected to the flow of life. Divine feminine energy is in the flow. It's not trying to control and make things happen. Divine feminine energy understands the co-creation of life and how energy and everything is fluid. Nothing is ever permanent unless we choose to make it so. A hummingbird, 4 of Wands. This speaks of rest after a lot of hard work, a lot of changes that we've gone through. This is a homecoming. This rest is a rest in the comfort of our divine feminine energy. Some of us may need to or feel the desire to be at home more often, or make our home more of a sanctuary for ourselves and our spiritual journey, our spiritual growth. It's a lot, but I feel as though for many of us, we're accepting the changes graciously. And there's just these little bits, these little residual bits. Now, this isn't for everyone, but for who I'm reading for, and myself included, these little leftover bits that are swirling back around into our field, our energy field, to show us where we've been, who we are now, where we are now, what our choice is now. I'm going to get one more message from the Oracle of Seven Energies. And just so that you guys know, if you're not new to the channel, I don't believe I will be doing the Zodiac this week. I didn't feel called to. I actually have had a lot of things come up in my life. Nothing good or bad, just intense things to pay attention to. I'm sort of following my own inner compass and the breadcrumb trail that's being left out for me right now, and learning to actually follow that flow consistently instead of being rigid and having some Saturn type structured. We're just going with the flow right now, basically. We'll just leave it at that. So I want to get one final message for us all. And I hope that you're all doing well. I know the intensity of this time. And we are moving into the eclipse portal, the eclipse energies. Great times of change. I've been kind of taken aback by how many extreme changes and transformations have already begun to unfold in my life experience, just in the matter of 2 days. So it's going to be interesting to see where life is taking us. I feel like we're kind of being taken aback a little bit, but with new awareness, new insight, new perspective already. So as long as we stay in our hearts, and we know this is a spiritual journey, we'll be just fine. It's going to make it so much easier to actually do the letting go, allowing the death process to take place. Okay, and our advice today is great and full. Grateful, great and full. And I will say that over the last couple days, for me, that energy of gratitude for what is, what I am experiencing, what I have, has been overwhelming. And that has been very helpful, extremely helpful through some of the more intense unfoldings that are going on right now. Well, this book is falling apart there. Before you can begin to understand the process of manifesting your desires, you need to practice deep gratitude and the willingness to share that with others. This is the true nature of prosperity. It's not about the things you accumulate at all. It's about how you feel. You're invited to surrender to an important truth. There is always enough for you. There is always enough time to do the things you need and desire to do, enough opportunities to express your talents and connect to your purpose, and enough magic circulating through the invisible world into the visible. Begin your day immersed in gratitude for everything you have and everything you can't yet see, the unmanifest, which begins with every breath you take. Know that you are enough and all your needs are being fulfilled, even if you doubt this in some moments. No one's success can make you feel small, and comparing yourself to others never works. Your life is brimming with unique potential. Focus on that. When you hold this feeling of gratitude, it acts as a magical open sesame to the floodgates of abundance. Couple that with a playful sense of detachment, and you'll find that miracles have an uncanny way of showing up in your life. Your intentions burst forth into reality with little effort on your part. There is hope brimming with potentiality. It's okay that you don't always trust this. You are not alone in holding the candle high for transformation. Right now, contemplate how being in the energy of enough makes you feel. Eventually, you will have no attachments to what you do or do not manifest in the material world, what you do or do not have. Then, like magic, you should have more than enough. What a fascinating universe we live in. Yes. And one other thing that has been coming to my attention lately, on top of this, because this is very true, and that has to do with a lot of the energetics that we carry, and especially the subconscious programming and beliefs and all of that that's linked to our feelings, is that many of us, well, this has always been the case, but if you find yourself being triggered or just extreme emotional responses to certain people or certain stimuli, it's important to turn that inward and understand that the only reason that you are having that experience, that you are attracting that into your reality, your experience at this time, this is hard pill for many to swallow, is because there's still some energetic cord of belief within you, something of resonance inside from your past that holds that frequency. So it's always a good indicator to us when we have very specific emotional responses and triggers to understand that this is actually a gift and a favor given to us. What is this bringing up in me? What is arising in me is what I'm actually meant to let go of and release. So hopefully that helps some of you out. I hope that you found this to be helpful for you. I'm sending you all so much love. Take care. Bye.